Lo, in the orient, when the gracious light lifts up his burning head, each under eye doth homage to his new appearing sight, serving with looks his sacred majesty. And having climbed the steep up heavenly hill, resembling strong youth in his middle age, yet mortal looks adore his beauty still, attending on his golden pilgrimage. But when from hindmost pitch with weary car, like feeble age, he reeleth from the day, the eyes, fore duteous, now converted are from his low tract, and look another way. So thou, thyself, outgoing in thy noon, unlooked on diest, unless thou get a son. Whew. Wow, that one was difficult. So obviously I record this before I post these. This is not my first go. You know, it usually takes me a couple attempts before I am able to end up with a take I really like. This took me like a half an hour, and I thought I knew it, but this sonnet. It's funny. Going into this, I didn't have any of these thoughts that I'm having right now, but this sonnet, I think it's the pace that makes it so difficult. It starts so weird, low in the orient. That's not what I think of when I think of Shakespeare, but it's got some wonderful language in it. It's some of my favorite, actually. There's some obvious wordplay, sun and sun. The fair youth is the age of, he's the son of someone, he's a youth, he's, it's really, really, really beautiful wordplay, sun and sun. And the rhyming couplet at the end, actually, I pronounced the words how they're pronounced today, but the rhyme doesn't work when you do it that way. The rhyming couplet, so thou thyself outgoing in thy noon, unlooked on diest, unless thou get a son. Those don't rhyme the way I'm saying them now, but based on how things would have been pronounced then, it seems like the noon would have been the one to change. I actually reached out to David Crystal, I think his name is, who is one of the voices about original pronunciation. I was made aware of him when Seven Stages brought in Ben Crystal for the past Shakespeareans, Measure for Measure, and I've done a little cursory investigation into that. That kind of sounds like a really interesting concept. An interesting school of understanding Shakespeare, and so that rhyme would have worked, and it has a kind of interesting double meaning that I don't know if that's just the way I'm connecting it now versus how it would have been then. But if you do it, so thou thyself outgoing in thy none, unlooked on diest, unless thou get a son. None, I mean none, nothing. That kind of has an interesting double meaning for me there. I don't know if that's anything of substance that's actually there, but it's an interesting observation for me. It's fun. I'm kind of surprised it hasn't come across. Maybe I've missed it with the rhyming couplets, where the rhymes have seemed to have worked up till now. But that was an interesting one, with the obvious double meaning on unless thou get a son and son. It's really, really, I really, really like the imagery, and but the pacing and some of the syllables, they really move. Like, I don't like, it's one big breath from, like, there's low in the orient, when the gracious light, da 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 da, it just like moves from there on. And I mean, it's painting a really, really beautiful landscape of, this, the sun rising and blinding the people that are looking up at it. I love that, and having climbed the steep up heavenly hill, da, 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 da. Like, it's a really pleasing meter to it, and it's really, really, it. I think the struggle for me to perform this one was the there was very little time to breathe. I found it was just it just moved right up until but. It was, I think, I want to say like the first 6 to 8 lines just moved after Low in the Orient, and then you're able to take a breath. I guess content wise at least. But man, it's really 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 beautiful, the taking this the concept of a sun rising and setting, and that concept of it's a new sun every day, and it's representative of an entire life, birth and death, and it's the sun in the sky, and got me thinking about, it's so incredible how where my mind ends up with some of these, but that the concept at the end where my mind ended up with unlooked on dieist, like if they're not looking at you, you don't exist. If you're not being looked at and appreciated, you don't exist. You're not alive. It's this really deep subject matter of reality and perception, and is the world still there when you close your eyes, kind of stuff. At least that's where my mind went. All this, it's really, really a testament to the language and how, just universal it is, how it can just branch off in all these different thought-provoking ways. Man, I had so much trouble with this one. This was it's a really, really powerful one. And having started it, I didn't think it was going to be in the same vein, but I do think that this is still part of the same dialogue about have kids, man. So yeah, that was Sonnet 7. I don't even think I said that up until now, so spoiler alert, that was Sonnet 7. I'm going to be doing Sonnet 8 next week, so that'll be fun. Thank you for watching. Have a fantastic evening.